What's up, guys? It's Stephanie again from @Grow Beautiful Life. And today I'm doing something kind of fun, and I'm going to talk about potting stuff and soil stuff. So today I am going to be potting in something fun. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I don't know if this looks familiar to anybody. It's a WallyGrow system with a water reservoir up here, and it hooks onto a piece that goes into the wall, which is going upstairs in my bathroom where so many of my happy plants live. So I convinced my husband to make another hole in the wall, and I'm gonna plant some stuff in it. So I'm considering doing a few different combinations, but one for sure I want to put in there is this super cutesy Hoya curtsy eye. I think I'm gonna do it off to the side, and I'm gonna talk as I figure this out, because another plant that I really want in this container, because I think it would thrive in my bathroom environment, is this stunning large leaf silver like satin philodendron. I mean, the leaves are huge, and it took so long to make this one. It's like half the size of this one, and I had a bit of a problem with it. It turned out that a piece of it that was in here was the rotting. It wasn't a good a successful cutting, unfortunately. That's not anything that I could have prevented. It's just what happened. So it's been looking a little skinny since then, but still very beautiful. I think I'd like to add this into the arrangement as well. Depending on what these two look like together, I do have a third plant that I think would look really cool with this. Is this cool Brazil variegated philodendron. So a philodendron, a Hoya, and a satin pothos all walk into a bar or a pot. I'm so funny. Okay, so to start, I'm for sure doing this one. So I'm going to move it out of my way while I prep my soil. And I had a lot of requests and want to talk about soil. So this time I'm going to do it in front of you. I need a spoon. Be right back. Okay, so when you're getting something ready to plant, you need to consider a few things. Does my plant have drainage holes? This one really doesn't. It has a self-watering system in here, but this isn't gonna drain. So I need to, fix that. I'm not adding a drainage hole. I mean, add stuff into the bottom to create drainage, because the worst thing ever is roots sitting at the bottom of the pot in water. So I'm going to grab a couple things that I'm going to mix together to create a bottom layer. And my bottom layer is going to be about 1/3 of the pot. So there's going to be a lot of different stuff going in here. So the first thing I'm going to use at the bottom is perlite, and this is just for drainage. It's just for drainage, really. It's the white stuff that you see in your containers. I'll show you. There. Perlite. So I'm gonna add a couple scoops into here. I'm gonna do it this way. I'll start with 3, and I'm gonna try to keep it relatively even to what I'm mixing with. Okay, so there's 3 scoops of perlite. Also, going to add some charcoal, because again, this does not have drainage holes. This is used for terrariums, dish gardens, potted plants, reduces effects of overwatering, and it's a natural soil conditioner. Charcoal. You don't need very much of this stuff, and I don't use it in everything. I'm gonna do 1 or 2 scoops. And it looks like how you expect it to look, black charcoal. That should do it. And I think, well, I'm running a little low on orchid mix, but I'm gonna use some of this anyways. It's chunky orchid mix. 1, 2. I like the bark texture. You don't have to use orchid mix to get the bark. You can use bark. Chunky bark. This is mixed with perlite and potting soil. Just yummy, rich, organic material. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm up to about 1/3 of the way full, and I'm just gonna kind of stir it with my spoon. So what I'm left with is super chunky. Look at that. Really, really chunky mix at the bottom. So I'm not going to be mixing the bottom soil in with the rest of the stuff that I'm using. So shake it all up. I always like to pre-moisten as I go. I think it's just good practice for just guaranteeing a thorough watering while you're planting. So I sprayed a little bit with some normal water. So since this is pretty deep, I'm gonna go ahead and add a layer of my potting mix. Excuse me. And then start figuring out how things are going to look in here. So I'm going to grab my normal all-purpose potting mix. I use so much different stuff, you guys. This is probably going to be the most stuff I use in one thing, because I'm trying to create a lot of different environments. I'm trying to create a draining environment, and I'm trying to create a moisture retaining environment. So we're gonna do a yummy layer of potting mix, which contains peat, which will hold moisture there at the top. Okay. Never pack while you're going. I will say this every time I do a potting video. Don't smash it in. You need the soil to be mobile and light. And just for good measure, we'll sprinkle on some more perlite. And I'll just kind of push that around it. Just do a little light mixing there at the top. Okay, so let's see how my Hoya looks in here. I think I am gonna drape this off to the side. So I'm gonna pop it out. I haven't even taken this out of the pot yet, so I don't know what it looks like. And it's soaking wet. Oh my gosh. Super, super wet. So I am gonna take off some of that. Hoyas do not like to be left wet. Dang, that's really wet. It's good quality compost mix. It's just too wet and dense for me. So don't feel shy if you don't like what your new plant just came in. Take it off. That is what I do. At least half. At least half. All right. Roots look great. They're not as deep as I thought they would be, which is fine, because that means it's got a lot of growing to do. These tend to have a little bit more of a shallow root system. So I think that's good. And now that I've taken half off, I know it's going to be too shallow. I need to add more soil in here. So I'm going to push that pile over. Okay, carefully laying that down. Dirty. How about some cactus mix? We'll do cactus mix and worm castings. That'll be a fun layer. It's just, again, it's my black and gold stuff. cactus mix. It's chunky, it's well draining, and that's what I need for this because I am adding a lot of soil in here that aren't gonna have roots in them for a while. So it needs to be really well draining. Okay, and as far as the worm castings, this, it's just one of those really yummy, rich organic materials, feeds plants, good for root growth, improves overall soil structure, blah blah blah. And I've just gotten into this. I don't really have anything to say how it works, but I don't think it hurts. It's just one of those things I'm gonna mix in to stuff as I go along, and if I see visual improvement for the plants that I do that with, then fantastic. Another layer of perlite and some more cactus mix, and push that all around, and a little pre-moistening. Now let's see how this sits in here. Okay, careful. Okay, oh, that little piece is already wanting to root. How adorable. Let's put that over here. Okay. It's falling apart. That looks pretty cool. I wanted to sit up a little bit higher though, so I'm going to be pushing the soil underneath of it to get it where I want it to sit. Alrighty. I hope this all works out. I think it should. I think 3 different varieties of plants can live perfectly happy together as long as I can meet all their light watering needs. Okay, that's nice. So I've got a lot more space in here than I thought I would have left. So it took up, you know, a third. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my satin in the middle. I've got room. This is so fun. Okay. This isn't gonna be very deeply rooted either. So that kind of makes it easy. Just gently squeeze, squeeze. Come on. There we go. Ah, I'm making a mess. That's okay. So still got some good roots. Nothing wrong with them. I'm gonna set it back here to spill over because it does have some nodes. That'd be great if they would root. How about right there? So this is starting to fall apart. I'm going to be taking the medium that just spilled out from this plant and I'm going to be putting it back in because I don't want to waste this. It's still good stuff. If it's still good, use it. If it's something that you made and want to use again, use it again. I only tend to get rid of compost and soil mixes that came with plants when I bought them because I don't know what they use, and I don't know, sometimes it's kind of gross. Okay, I'm just messing with these cuttings. I'm getting them exactly where I want. Okay, you know, it might just end up being these two. We'll see. I don't know. This is tricky. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, and I'm gonna, oopsie, found a new leaf in there. It's all good. I'll use it. Okay. How would I stick you back here? Might end up looking a little different than I had originally had in mind, which is fine. Okay, that. Maybe I'll just stick this little schnookums just like this. I know you can't really see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Okay. Now that I have that in there, guys, I'm not really sure if I'm going to have space for this. I really would like to. Let's see here. I'm going to try. I just want to see. It's got pretty established roots. I'm going to jimmy off a little bit of this. Not too much. I don't want the plant to fall apart like the pothos did. Whoops. What do you think? Looks kind of cool. I just hope it's not too crowded. I gotta turn this towards me now. Well, I super want this to work. I hope I don't have to redo anything. I love combo pots. They make me so happy. I love seeing different kinds of plants thrive together. It's beautiful. Maybe if I move this cutting over here. It's all about playing and experimenting. I think that'll be okay. I'm gonna try the 3 together. I think it will be okay. Maybe I'll root this separately since it is so tiny. I don't want it to get lost in there. It barely has any roots. So I'm gonna keep this out and repot it in something else. Because he's just a little shrimp. Okay. I think I'm going with it. I think I'm gonna do the 3 in here. I think it looks really cool and I love the contrast. So I'm gonna top dress. Let's start with cactus mix again. Top dressing can be almost whatever you want, but no one's gonna be looking in the top, so I don't need it to be pretty. I do need to hold the plants in place though, so I am gonna be using cactus mix to do that. Okay. Thrive, little guys. I'm poking the soil through the plants. I will work on my camera stuff. I need like a tripod or something. I'm just a normal girl in a normal house who loves gardening. Maybe I'll take some of this really wet, heavy stuff. I'll put this at the top. That'll be fine. That'll help keep it in place like glue. And hopefully the wet mix that Hoya came out of will encourage some more nodes to root into it and secure the plant. And I am pushing down a teeny bit just so I can make sure my plants stay in place. I think it's gonna be cool. For sure, things are going to outgrow this pot. You got to remember that when you're doing combo pots of any kind of plant, succulents, tropical foliage, things get bigger. And if you don't want to run the chance of something outgrowing the arrangement and the possibility that you have to take it out and repot it and do something else with it, then don't do arrangements. I like doing that. Switching it up and pulling them out and moving them somewhere else, or I like doing that. I love experimenting with arrangements. I have one successful arrangement. Let me show you. This. Okay. Okay, this one was super fun to do. I think I need to repot it now, but I've got the purple velvet. I'll put the botanical name in the video. In the same pot with this cutesy peperomia and this ribbon Dracaena. The watering requirements are all about the same, and it just looks kind of cool, all these different shades of greens and purples all growing together. I really enjoy this piece. This is getting a little bit big maybe, but it's cool because they are all about the same height. But this was a successful arrangement. I did have another plant in place of the purple guy that wasn't happy with the other two. So we're going to just leave that for now. Okay. So I'm just going to finish packing this in. I hope I covered some soil questions that have been coming up. I will always talk about the soil that I'm using when I'm potting. I change things up a little bit. I don't do the same thing every single time. So I think that's cool. I'm excited to try this. So there we go. There's my foliage arrangement in my WallyGrow, and once I get it up on the wall, I'm gonna pour water in this reservoir here. So that was that. Tell your friends, you know, I'm still trying to get my channel up and going, and taking any suggestions you guys have. And if when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna chop up my pink princess philodendron for propagation, and I will show you all that stuff again. I know I did a pink princess propagation, but I'll do more, and I'll do it live, and I might sell them. So, you know, help me out. I really enjoy doing this, and I'm not getting paid to do it unless I get enough subscribers. Anyways, thanks for watching. These are fun to do, and like, subscribe, and share.